Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Since the beginning of this year, the amount of chip equipment purchased by American chip companies has increased significantly, and the United States has become the world's largest chip equipment purchaser in one fell swoop, showing that the United States has taken practical actions to increase chip production capacity in a big way, hoping to revitalize American chip manufacturing in order to catch up with China. Data shows that the amount of chip equipment purchased by the United States in November this year has reached $19.5 billion, a significant increase of more than 50% year-on-year. During the same period, China's chip equipment purchase amount was $16.18 billion. Thus the United States surpassed China to become the world's largest chip equipment purchaser. The United States is so eager to promote chip manufacturing because it now recognizes the importance of chip manufacturing. In the past few decades, American chip companies have attached too much importance to profits, so they have handed over chip manufacturing to Asian companies, which has led to Asian companies surpassing American companies in chip manufacturing technology. Currently, TSMC ranks first in the world in chip manufacturing technology, followed by Samsung, and most of the customers of these two major chip manufacturers are American chip companies, especially in advanced process manufacturing. It is estimated that 90% of the revenue is contributed by American chip companies. Among them, TSMC, which occupies more than 60% of the chip foundry market, has become a money-printing machine. TSMC's net profit margin has exceeded 40%. In addition, since Samsung is not as good as TSMC in 7nm and below processes, and Intel, a local American company, lags behind in chip manufacturing processes, and has not made smooth progress in Intel 4 and Intel 18A processes, TSMC has become a dominant player. TSMC, which has a technological monopoly advantage, plans to further increase the foundry price of 7nm and below processes this year. Such changes have made the United States deeply aware that over-reliance on Asian chip foundries has affected the development of American chips, because TSMC has grabbed huge profits, and its profit margin is even much higher than that of several current American chip giants such as Apple, Intel and AMD, which has also weakened the ability of American chip companies to innovate. Because TSMC has taken too much profit, the profits of American chip companies have decreased, so they can only reduce chip R&D investment. Under the long-term influence, the technological advantage of American chips will gradually decline. Apple is very obvious. The performance improvement of its A-series processors in recent years has only been about 10%. TSMC has grabbed too much profit, which is very different from the low profit of chip manufacturing that American chip companies believed at that time. What has given the United States a greater stimulus is Chinese chips. In the past few years, the United States has continuously taken measures to prevent China from developing advanced chips, while China has adopted the strategy of developing mature chips first. Over the years, China's chip production capacity has surpassed the United States and has become one of the countries with the leading chip production capacity in the world. With the development of Chinese chips are no longer limited to meeting domestic demand, but also aggressively seizing the international market. The amount of Chinese chip imports has dropped by $90 billion in 3 years, and the amount of chip exports has exceeded 1 trillion renminbi in 2024. These exported chips have taken away part of the market for American chips. In addition to Intel, Nvidia, AMD, Apple, Qualcomm and many other chip companies that use advanced technology, the United States also has chip companies such as Broadcom and Texas Instruments. These chip companies mainly develop mature chips. Under the offensive of Chinese chips, the profit margin of Texas Instruments has dropped sharply in the past 3 years, from nearly 40% to less than 30%. American chip companies such as Texas Instruments and Broadcom are also facing the dilemma of having nowhere to sell chips. It was confirmed earlier that chips from Texas Instruments, Broadcom and other companies appeared in the missiles used by Russia to bomb Ukraine, and the United States prohibits them from selling chips to Russia. Of course, American chip companies will say that these are all sold to Russia by third parties. The reason why American chip companies cannot effectively reduce costs to cope with fierce price wars is that American chip companies are highly dependent on Asian chip foundries, which take a large part of the profits. This makes the United States deeply feel the dilemma of losing its chip manufacturing advantage. Now it is finally determined to develop chip manufacturing to consolidate the United States' leadership in the chip industry. If the United States does this, it will be a huge challenge for the chip foundry industry in Asia. TSMC's dominant position may also be shaken. TSMC may not have such a good life in the future. In short, the United States chip purchases have surpassed China to become the largest in the world because it recognizes the importance of chip manufacturing. The high dependence of American companies on Asian foundries has led to a decline in profits, and China's chip development has grabbed the market. The United States is determined to develop chip manufacturing to consolidate its leadership, which poses a challenge to the Asian foundry industry.